Liam had always loved wandering through the wooded trails near his town, seeking quiet places to think. Ever since his father had left a year ago, and his mother had taken on extra shifts at the hospital, he found solace in the whispering trees and the crunch of leaves beneath his feet. It was during one of these walks, on a chilly autumn evening, that he heard the faint whimpering. At first, he thought he had imagined it. The sound was so soft, barely distinguishable from the rustling of the wind. But as he stilled his breath and listened more carefully, it came again, a pitiful, desperate cry. Something inside him tightened. He knew that sound. It was the sound of an animal in pain. Curious, he stepped off the main trail, moving carefully over fallen branches and damp undergrowth. The woods were dense here, shadowed even in the fading light. His heart pounded as he followed the sound, weaving between thick trees, his breath visible in the cool air. Then he saw it. Tucked beneath the twisted roots of an old oak tree lay a German shepherd, its body curled into itself, shivering uncontrollably. Its fur was matted with mud and what looked like dried blood, and its ribs jutted out beneath the thin coat. Liam swallowed hard. The dog's eyes, a deep, soulful brown, flickered open for a brief second before closing again, too exhausted to react to his presence. "Hey, buddy," Liam whispered, crouching slowly. "It's okay. I won't hurt you." The dog barely lifted its head. Liam hesitated, unsure if the animal would snap at him. But instead, the dog let out a low whimper and closed its eyes. A surge of sympathy swelled in Liam's chest. This dog was more than lost, it was broken, abandoned by whoever had once cared for it. Liam bit his lip, glancing around. The woods stretched for miles. If he left the dog here, it wouldn't last the night. "Okay," he said softly, making up his mind. "Let's get you out of here." Carefully, he shrugged off his hoodie and draped it over the trembling animal. The moment the fabric touched its body, the dog let out a small, tired sigh, as if already grateful for the warmth. Moving gently, Liam slid his arms underneath the dog's frail frame and lifted it into his arms. The weight in his arms felt light, too light, and Liam's concern deepened. As he started back toward town, ignoring the biting wind against his skin, he glanced down at the fragile creature in his arms. Its breathing was shallow, but steady. It had been through something terrible, he could feel it. He didn't know it yet, but this decision would change his life forever. Liam burst through the front door of his home, kicking it shut behind him as he cradled the weak German shepherd in his arms. His mother, Emily, had just arrived from her shift at the hospital, her exhaustion evident as she removed her coat. At the sight of Liam and the battered dog, her medical instincts kicked in immediately. "Oh my God, Liam! What happened?" she gasped, rushing toward them. "I found him in the woods," Liam said breathlessly. "He's hurt, starving. I couldn't just leave him." Emily's gaze softened, but concern flickered in her eyes. She knew her son's heart was too big for his own good. She carefully assessed the dog, pressing gentle fingers along its ribs. The dog flinched but made no attempt to bite or resist. "He's severely malnourished," she murmured. "Dehydrated too." Liam carried the dog into the living room, setting him down on a warm blanket. Emily fetched a bowl of water, placing it near the animal's nose. The dog sniffed it hesitantly before lapping at it with slow, deliberate movements. "What do we do?" Liam asked, kneeling beside the dog. "We can't just take him to a shelter. He wouldn't survive there." Emily sighed, running a hand through her hair. "I'll call Dr. Reynolds first thing in the morning. He'll know how to help." Liam nodded, relieved. But something inside him whispered that this wasn't just about saving a stray. This dog had a past, a story that hadn't been told yet. That night, Liam couldn't sleep. He lay awake, listening to the slow, steady breathing of the German shepherd curled at the foot of his bed. The dog had barely moved since arriving, too weak to do much more than drink a little water. Liam reached out hesitantly, his fingers brushing the dog's fur. It was coarse and matted, evidence of weeks, maybe months, of neglect. "You're safe now," he whispered. "I promise." The dog's ear twitched, acknowledging his voice, but it didn't stir. Liam felt an overwhelming sense of responsibility settle over him. This wasn't just a dog. This was a soul that had been through something unimaginable. And somehow, Liam felt an unspoken connection between them. The next morning, Emily and Liam took the dog to Dr. Reynolds, the town's veterinarian. The older man's brow furrowed as he examined the shepherd, his fingers tracing over the scars along the animal's back. "This is no ordinary stray," Dr. Reynolds muttered. "He has markings of a trained dog, possibly from a military or law enforcement background. But he's been abandoned for a long time." Liam exchanged a look with his mother. "What does that mean?" Dr. Reynolds exhaled. "It means someone left him for dead, but I can't tell why." Liam looked down at the dog, who was now gazing at him with those deep, trusting eyes. His chest tightened. Whoever had abandoned this animal had made a terrible mistake. "He needs a name," Liam said suddenly. Dr. Reynolds chuckled. "A strong dog like this deserves a strong name." Liam thought for a moment, then smiled. "Odin." The dog blinked, his ears perking slightly at the sound. Liam's smile grew. "Odin it is." As they left the clinic, Liam couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. Odin had a past that someone had tried to erase. And together, they were going to uncover the truth. Odin's recovery was slow, but every day brought small signs of progress. At first, he barely moved from the soft bed Liam had made for him in the corner of his room. But after a few days of nourishment, rest, and gentle care, the German shepherd started to regain his strength. The first time Odin stood on his own, Liam was there to witness it. The dog trembled slightly as he pushed himself up, his once weak legs supporting him with effort. His ears perked at the sound of Liam's voice, and for the first time, a spark of life returned to his deep brown eyes. "You're doing great, Odin," Liam encouraged, his voice filled with warmth. Despite the progress, there were moments of hesitation in Odin's behavior. He flinched at sudden movements and shied away from loud noises, as if haunted by memories he couldn't escape. Liam suspected he had been through something traumatic, something far worse than simple abandonment. One evening, as Liam sat beside Odin, running his fingers through the shepherd's now clean fur, he murmured, "Who hurt you, buddy?" Odin let out a small sigh, resting his head against Liam's leg. It was the first true sign of trust. But trust wasn't the only thing Odin was regaining. With each passing day, pieces of his old self began to surface, memories buried deep within. And soon, those memories would lead them to the truth. Liam sat on the floor of his bedroom, absently stroking Odin's fur. The German shepherd had grown stronger in the past few weeks, his coat gaining its luster back, his ribs no longer so painfully visible. But there was something about him that still felt off. He was alert in ways most dogs weren't, his eyes scanning the surroundings as if he expected danger at any moment. One afternoon, as he scratched behind Odin's ear, his fingers brushed against something unusual. A small, almost hidden tattoo was inked into the skin just inside Odin's right ear. Liam squinted, tracing the letters and numbers. They seemed too precise to be random. Frowning, he grabbed his phone and typed the markings into a search engine. Nothing useful came up at first. But then, on an obscure forum discussing military K-9 units, he found a post about similar markings. His heart pounded as he read about classified projects involving specialized dogs trained for extreme missions. Some were allegedly abandoned when they didn't meet the program standards. Uneasy, Liam took Odin to Dr. Reynolds, who confirmed that the marking wasn't from a standard veterinary procedure. With concern in his eyes, the vet connected Liam to an ex-military dog handler named Sam Carter. When Sam arrived at the clinic and saw Odin, his face went pale. "Where did you find this dog?" he asked in a hushed voice. Liam explained, and Sam ran a hand over his mouth. "I think this dog was part of something bigger. Experimental K-9 units. Some say these dogs were trained for impossible missions. But the ones that failed, disappeared." Liam's breath caught. Odin wasn't just a stray. He had a past someone wanted to erase. The feeling that something was wrong started as a whisper in the back of Liam's mind. At first, he ignored it. Odin was recovering, growing stronger each day, and it seemed like life was returning to normal. But then came the strange occurrences. A black SUV had been parked near their street one afternoon, its windows tinted so dark Liam couldn't see inside. He didn't think much of it at first. But the next day, he saw the same vehicle again, idling 2 houses down. His stomach clenched uneasily. Then, one night, Odin woke Liam up with a low, warning growl. The hair on the back of the dog's neck stood straight up as he stared toward the window. Liam, still groggy, hesitated before slipping out of bed and pulling back the curtain. A shadow moved near the tree line behind their house. His pulse spiked. Someone was out there. Someone wanted Odin back. And Liam wasn't going to let them take him. Not now. Not ever. Liam's heart pounded as he ran through the house, calling for Odin. The silence that greeted him sent chills down his spine. The back door was ajar, swinging slightly in the wind. Someone had taken Odin. His chest tightened, fear gripping him like a vice. His mind raced as he rushed outside. A faint set of paw prints led away from the house, veering toward the woods. Without a second thought, Liam bolted in that direction, adrenaline coursing through his veins. He ran until he heard rustling up ahead. Through the gaps in the trees, he spotted 2 men struggling to load Odin into a dark SUV. Odin fought back, twisting and snarling, but he was outnumbered. "Hey!" Liam shouted, his voice raw with panic. "Let him go." One of the men turned, a warning in his cold eyes. "Back off, kid. This isn't your business." But Odin had seen Liam. The dog snapped and lunged, throwing his weight against the man holding him. The momentary distraction was enough. Liam grabbed a rock and hurled it at the windshield of the SUV. The glass didn't break, but the impact startled the men. Odin seized the opportunity, twisting free and bolting toward Liam. The second man swore and reached for something in his coat. Liam didn't wait to see what, he spun on his heel and sprinted back toward the house, Odin close behind. As he ran, he fumbled for his phone. His fingers shook as he dialed Dr. Reynolds. "Dr. Reynolds. They tried to take Odin." Liam gasped. The vet's voice was sharp. "Get to safety, Liam. Call the police. I'll be there soon." Liam didn't slow down until he reached his front porch, slamming the door behind him. Odin pressed against his leg, panting hard. Liam's heart pounded as he locked eyes with his dog. Whoever those men were, they weren't giving up. And neither was he. This was only the beginning. The police arrived just as the men tried to escape. Their SUV roared to life, but flashing red and blue lights flooded the driveway, forcing them to halt. Officers swarmed the scene, guns drawn, barking orders. Liam stood his ground, Odin at his side, still trembling but defiant. The men claimed Odin belonged to them, but Liam, with the ex-handler's help, presented proof of the illegal program. Under pressure, one of the men cracked. We were supposed to dispose of him. That was all the officers needed. The men were cuffed and taken away. As they were dragged past, one shot Liam a glare. This isn't over, kid. But for Liam and Odin, it was a new beginning. The ordeal had changed everything. Liam sat on the porch, Odin curled up beside him. They had faced danger together, uncovered a truth buried deep in secrecy, and fought for their right to stay together. And in the end, love and loyalty had won. With the threat gone, Odin finally had a chance to heal. His wounds, both visible and hidden, were slowly fading. Under Liam's care, he regained his strength, his coat grew shinier, and his spirit, once crushed, began to shine through. At first, Odin was wary. He would startle easily at sudden movements, and at night, he sometimes whimpered in his sleep, as if haunted by memories of his past. Liam would sit beside him, whispering softly, reassuring him that he was safe. Over time, those nightmares faded, replaced by peaceful slumber. Liam often found himself sitting with Odin for hours, running his fingers through the thick fur, watching the dog's soft brown eyes reflect a quiet trust. The bond between them was unspoken but unbreakable. Odin wasn't just a lost dog anymore, he was family. Liam's mother saw the change too. She had been hesitant at first, worried about the dangers that had followed them. But watching Liam and Odin together, she knew the truth, they had saved each other. One evening, as Liam sat on the porch with Odin, the sky streaked with the soft hues of sunset, he realized just how much his life had changed. A year ago, he had felt lost, just like Odin. But now, with Odin by his side, he knew he had found his place. Odin, once discarded and forgotten, now had a place where he truly belonged. And Liam knew, without a doubt, that he had found his best friend for life.